What's up, Willowbrook? Today we're in John chapter 2, verses 1 through 12. Now, this is the only account of this story in the four Gospels. So let's read what happens. We read that Jesus and his disciples and his mother Mary are at a wedding in Cana of Galilee. Well, suddenly, Mary finds out that all the wine is gone. Now, this doesn't seem like a very big problem, but you got to remember, in this culture at this time, to run out of wine at a wedding would be a major embarrassment for this family. And also, weddings would last for days. So depending on where they are at this wedding, if it had just started, to be without wine for days for the rest of the wedding would be a pretty big deal in this time and with this culture. So Mary takes the problem to Jesus. He responds in verse 4. He says, "Woman, why do you involve me?" This term woman sounds kind of derogatory when you first read it, but really it's a term of respect. It's almost like he's calling her ma'am. So he's recognizing his mother with respect. He says, "Why do you involve me? My hour has not yet come." And this hour that he's talking about is the hour when he would die on the cross and be resurrected and glorified by God. He's saying, right now is not the time. So you almost get the sense that Mary is wanting Jesus to do something miraculous in front of this whole wedding, to finally show these people who he really is. But he doesn't do that. Instead, he does something behind the scenes where only a few people know what happened. It says that he tells the servants to fill up these purification jars with water, and then to draw out some water and to take it to the master of the banquet. And when they take it to the master of the banquet, this water has now been miraculously turned into wine. The master of the banquet drinks the wine, gets a taste of it. He's surprised, he's blown away. He calls the bridegroom over and says, "Why have you saved the best wine for last?" So what's happening here is the whole point that Jesus, loves wine, and is that the major overarching thing that we need to get from this? No, not necessarily. I think that we find the whole point of this in verse 11. It says, "What Jesus did here in Cana of Galilee was the first of the signs through which he revealed his glory." You're going to see this throughout the book of John, Jesus performing signs. And what do these signs do? They point to the reality of who Jesus is. Yes, he's fully man, but he's also fully God. And that's what these signs do. And look what happens as a result of this sign. In verse 11, "And his disciples believed in him." And that's actually the point of the whole book of John. We read later on, and near the end of the book, the whole point is that we would see who Jesus is and that we would believe that he truly is the Son of God. I think one other thing, though, that we can also glean from this passage is that God cares about things that don't seem very significant on the outside. When you think about it, with this wedding going on and them running out of wine, of course, it was a big deal in that moment to that wedding party. But if you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, really it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But the creator of the universe was there, and he answered that prayer. He gave them what they needed. And I think the same is true for us today. I want to encourage you to not be like me. Sometimes I have a bad habit of only taking requests to God that seem really big. But I often forget about the things that seem small and insignificant, that God still wants me to bring those requests to him because he is my provider, not just the big things, but also the small things and everything in between. In Psalm 103, it says that he satisfies our desires with good things. So wherever you are today, if you're praying for a miracle, or if you're just praying for or needing something small, I want to encourage you to take those requests to God. He is who he says he is, and he's still a God that can do things that seem insignificant and things that seem impossible. He's still a God that works miracles. He's still a God that can turn water into wine. God bless you.